The small ship moved away from Earth quickly. It was not the biggest or the strongest ship in Earth's fleet, but it was the fastest and the quietest. Kate had picked it herself. "How's our new cloaking system working, Elijah?" she asked. Dr. Howard checked his screens. "Good so far. It bends light around us and absorbs their scanning signals, but it can only work for 22 minutes before it needs to cool down for 3 minutes. Those 3 minutes would be very bad if they happen at the wrong time," Alan said. Kate nodded. "Greg, you need to get us through the fleet and to the Emperor's ship in less than 22 minutes. "No pressure," Greg muttered, but his hands were steady. On the controls. Sam was checking her gear. She had tools for breaking into systems, small weapons that would make no sound, and devices that could create distractions. "Tell me about the Emperor's ship," Kate said. Elijah showed a diagram on the main screen. "It's huge, like a floating city. The Emperor stays in the center here." He pointed to a spot deep within the ship. "There are many guards and security. Systems. How do we get in?" Alan asked. "The ship takes in supplies here." Sam pointed to an opening on the lower part of the ship. "If we time it right, we can slip in with a supply ship." "And then?" Kate asked. "Then we use this." Elijah held up a small device. "It contains the biological data from the Xerillian scout we captured. It should let us fool their security systems into thinking we're Xerillians with permission to be there." "Should?" Alan raised an eyebrow. "It's the best we have," Kate said. "What about weapons?" "Standard weapons won't work well," Elijah explained. "Xerillian skin is tough, and they heal quickly, but their eyes and breathing holes are weak points." "I have something special," Alan said, opening a case. Inside were small dart guns. "These contain a toxin Elijah developed. It targets Xerillian biology." "Will it kill the Emperor?" Kate asked. "Yes," Elijah confirmed. "But you'll need to hit one of his breathing holes or eyes." "I can do that," Kate said. As they got closer to the moon, they could see the Xerillian fleet clearly. It was even more impressive up close. Hundreds of ships, each one able to destroy an Earth city with a single shot. "There's so many of them," Sam whispered. "We don't need to fight them all," Kate reminded her. "We just need to get to one ship, find one alien, and complete one mission." "When you put it that way, it sounds almost easy," Greg said with a small smile. "Start the cloaking system," Kate ordered. "Greg, take us in." The ship seemed to fade slightly as the cloaking system activated. Greg guided their ship toward the massive fleet with careful hands. "We need to find a supply ship to follow," Kate said. "There." Sam pointed to a smaller ship moving toward the fleet. Greg moved their ship into position behind the supply vessel. They followed it closely, using it as a shield from any watching eyes. "Time?" Kate asked. 17 minutes of cloaking left, Elijah reported. The supply ship approached one of the middle ships in the fleet. It was enormous, easily 100 times the size of the largest Earth ship. "That's not the Emperor's ship," Alan said. "No," Kate agreed. "We need to keep looking." They broke away from the supply ship and moved deeper into the fleet. Ships surrounded them on all sides. One wrong move would mean disaster. "There," Kate pointed. In the center of the fleet was a ship even larger than the others. It glowed with a faint blue light. "That has to be it." "Getting there will be tricky," Greg said. "There's no clear path." "Make one," Kate ordered. Greg took a deep breath and began to weave their ship through the massive vessels. It was like a mouse trying to run through a field of sleeping elephants. One wrong move, and they would be crushed. 12 minutes of cloaking left, Elijah warned. "I see a supply entrance," Sam said. "Several ships are heading toward it." "Get us in with them," Kate ordered. Greg adjusted their course to join the line of supply ships. They were much smaller than the others, which made their ship less noticeable. 9 minutes, Elijah said. The line of ships moved slowly. Too slowly. "We'll run out of cloaking before we get inside," Alan said. Kate thought quickly. "Greg, can you cut ahead without being noticed?" "It's risky," Greg said, "but I can try." He guided their ship out of the line and then smoothly inserted it near the front. A few of the supply ships adjusted their positions, but none raised any alarms. 5 minutes of cloaking left, Elijah said. They were getting close to the entrance. Now. It was a large opening in the side of the Emperor's ship. Supply vessels entered one at a time. We'll slip in right behind the next one, Kate decided. The dock workers will be focused on unloading it. 3 minutes, Elijah warned. The ship ahead of them entered the dock. Greg positioned their ship carefully, waiting for the right moment. Now, Kate ordered. Greg pushed the ship forward, sliding into the dock right behind the supply vessel. Workers were busy with the other ship and didn't notice them. Greg guided their ship to an empty spot in the corner of the massive dock. 1 minute of cloaking left, Elijah said. Shut it down now, Kate ordered. Let it start cooling. We'll need it again soon. The ship became fully visible again, but they had landed in a shadowy area where few workers were looking. How do we get from here to the Emperor? Alan asked. Sam studied the ship's layout on her device. There's a service corridor near here. It leads deeper into the ship. Guards? Kate asked. Probably, but not many. This is a work area, not a security zone, Sam replied. We need to move, Kate said. Elijah, how long until the cloaking system is ready again? 2 more minutes, he answered. Too long to wait here, Kate decided. We'll use the service corridor and find a place to hide until the system is ready again. They prepared to leave the ship. Each of them carried only what they needed: weapons, tools, and communication devices. Remember, Kate said, we're not here to fight a war. We're here to complete one mission. Stay focused. They opened the ship's door and stepped into the Emperor's vessel. The air felt different, cooler, and with a strange smell. This way, Sam whispered, pointing to a door across the dock. They moved quickly but calmly, trying to look like they belonged there. The Xerillian workers were focused on their tasks and barely looked at them. They reached the door, and Sam used Elijah's device to open it. It slid open smoothly, revealing a long corridor lit with blue lights. Clear, Sam reported after checking. They entered the corridor and closed the door behind them. Now they were truly inside the heart of the Xerillian Empire. 1 minute until cloaking is ready, Elijah said. Good, Kate replied. Because according to the clock, we have exactly 3 hours left before the deadline. Let's not waste a second. The message arrived at 6:43 in the morning. Kate Morgan was drinking her coffee, looking out the window of her office at the fleet of Earth ships. The screen on her desk lit up with a symbol she had never seen before. Admiral Morgan, there's an incoming transmission. It's from the Xerillian Empire, said the voice of her communications officer, Peter, through the speakers. Kate put down her coffee cup. The Xerillian Empire was the largest power in the galaxy. Until now, they had ignored Earth, seeing humans as too small to bother with. Put it through, she said. The screen changed to show a tall blue figure. It had skin that seemed almost see-through and 6 eyes that blinked at different times. Kate kept her face calm, but her heart beat faster. I am Emperor Zortaxis of the Xerillian Empire, the figure said. Its voice was deep and smooth, almost pleasant, but Kate felt a chill. You are Admiral Catherine Morgan of Earth. I am, Kate said. She did not stand or bow. What can I do for you, Emperor? The Emperor's many eyes narrowed. Your planet has been noticed by the Empire. Your species shows potential. You will now join the Empire and serve us. Kate raised an eyebrow. And if we choose to remain free? There is no choice, the Emperor said. You have 7 hours to submit. After that, we will destroy your world. The screen showed a fleet of ships appearing near the moon. They were huge, making Earth's best ships look like toys. There were hundreds of them. 7 hours, the Emperor repeated, and the screen went dark. Kate sat still for a minute. Then she pressed a button. Get me the World Council. Now. 20 minutes later, Kate stood before the World Council. These 50 men and women led Earth's government. They looked scared. The Xerillians have conquered most of the galaxy, said Council Leader Maria Bell. Their technology is far beyond ours. We cannot fight them. So we surrender? Kate asked. Her voice was calm, but her eyes were hard. "What choice do we have?" asked Counselor John Lee. "You saw their fleet. They can destroy us." "We always have a choice," Kate said. "I've studied the Xerillians. They don't just want our surrender, they want our service. Our people would become slaves. Our resources would be taken. Is that what you want?" The room was quiet. "What do you suggest, Admiral?" Maria asked. "Let me take a small team," Kate said. "Let me take the fight to them." The council looked at her like she was crazy. "You against an empire?" John asked. "There's a reason. They call me Baba Yaga," Kate said. "I don't lose." The nickname had started years ago during the Mars Colony War. Kate had been trapped behind enemy lines with just 3 soldiers. Everyone thought they would die. Instead, Kate led a mission that ended the war in days. Her enemies started calling her Baba Yaga, after the witch from old stories who could not be stopped. "This is different," Maria said. "These aren't humans, these are aliens with technology we can't match." "Technology isn't everything," Kate said. "They think we'll just give up. They're sure of it. That's a weakness we can use." The council talked for hours. Some wanted to fight with all Earth ships, others wanted to surrender right away. Kate stood quiet, waiting. Finally, Maria spoke. "Admiral Morgan, what exactly do you plan to do?" "I plan to kill the Emperor," Kate said simply. The room exploded with noise. People shouted that she was crazy, that it was impossible. Kate waited for them to quiet down. "The Xerillian Empire follows one leader. They don't know how to function. Without clear orders, if the Emperor dies, they'll fall into chaos." "And how will you get to the Emperor?" John asked. "His ship must be the most protected one in the fleet." "I have a plan," Kate said, "but I need your trust." Maria looked at the clock. 5 hours remained before the deadline. "The Admiral has saved us before," she said slowly. When no one believed it was possible, one by one the council members voted. In the end, they gave Kate the authority she needed, though many still looked doubtful. As Kate left the council chamber, her second-in-command, Alan Frost, was waiting. "Bad?" he asked. "The worst," Kate said. "Get Sam, Elijah, and Greg. Meet me in the war room in 10 minutes." While she waited, Kate looked at a photo on her desk. It showed her with her late husband, Paul. He had died in the Mars War. "I'm not losing another home," she whispered to the photo. The team arrived quickly. Alan Frost was tall and strong, a weapons expert who had served with Kate for 15 years. Samantha Wright was younger, small, and quick, the best at getting into places no one should be able to enter. Dr. Elijah Howard was not a soldier but a scientist who knew more about alien biology than anyone on Earth. And Greg Mendez was the best pilot Kate had ever seen. "The Xerillian Empire has given Earth 7 hours to surrender," Kate told them. "The Council has given me authority to respond as I see fit." "What are we doing, boss?" Alan asked. "We're going to kill the Emperor," Kate said. The room was quiet. Then Greg let out a low whistle. "Just us?" Sam asked. "Just us," Kate confirmed. "A big force would be detected. We need to be quick and quiet." "The Emperor will be on the biggest ship surrounded by guards," Alan pointed out. "Yes," Kate agreed. "But Elijah has been working on something that might help us." All eyes turned to the scientist. He pushed his glasses up nervously. "I've been studying the samples from that Xerillian scout ship we captured last year," he explained. "Their technology is advanced, but their biology has weaknesses. Their vision can't detect certain light patterns, and their security systems are all based on their biology." "So we can be invisible to them?" Sam asked. "Not invisible," Elijah said, "but harder to see, and I might be able to fool their security systems, at least for a short time." "How short?" Kate asked. "Maybe 7 minutes before the system realizes something is wrong." Kate smiled for the first time that day. 7 minutes will be enough." She turned to a screen and showed them the Xerillian fleet. Their ships are massive, but they're arranged around the Emperor's vessel in a pattern. There's a path through if we're fast and lucky. "And if we're not?" Alan asked. "Then Earth surrenders and we probably die," Kate said honestly. The team was quiet. taking in the nearly impossible task before them. "When do we leave?" Greg finally asked. "Now," Kate said. "We have 4 hours until the deadline. We'll need every minute." As they prepared to leave, Kate looked once more at the photo of her husband. "Not another home," she repeated. Then she joined her team, ready to face an empire with nothing but courage, skill, and a desperate plan. Elijah worked quickly, applying the sample to the door's scanner. His hands were steady despite the pressure. "While I work on this, the rest of you need to create a diversion," Kate said. "When the guards break through that outer door, you need to lead them away from here." "What about you?" Alan asked. "I'm going in alone," Kate said. "That's not the plan," Sam argued. "Plans change," Kate said firmly. "One person has a better chance of getting close to the Emperor than 4, and I need the 3 of you to make sure we have an escape route." They wanted to argue, but the sound of banging on the outer door made the decision urgent. "They're trying to break through," Greg said. "How much longer, Elijah?" Kate asked. "Almost done," he replied. "There. It's working." The inner door began to slide open. "Remember, you have 7 minutes before the system detects the fake," Elijah warned. Kate nodded. 7 minutes is all I need." She checked her weapons one last time. The dart gun was loaded and ready. She also had a knife and a small pistol as backups. "Get to the ship and be ready," she told her team. "If I'm not back in 20 minutes, leave without me." "We're not leaving you," Alan said firmly. "That's an order," Kate replied. "Earth needs to know what happened here one way or another." The banging on the outer door grew louder. It would give way soon. "Create your diversion and go," Kate said. "Good luck." Her team nodded reluctantly. Sam placed a small explosive device near a sidewall. It wasn't powerful enough to damage the ship seriously, but it would make noise and smoke. "See you soon, boss," Alan said. Kate smiled slightly. "Count on it." She turned and walked through the inner door. It closed behind her with a soft hiss. Kate found herself in a round room with high ceilings. The walls were made of a material that seemed to shift colors slowly, from deep blue to purple and back again. The floor was polished stone with strange patterns carved into it, and there in the center of the room was the Emperor. Emperor Zortaxis sat on a floating throne. He was taller than the other Xerillians Kate had seen, nearly 9 feet tall. His blue skin had a translucent quality that made the network of veins underneath visible. 6 eyes blinked at different times as he turned to look at her. "A human," the Emperor said. His voice was surprisingly soft and musical. "How interesting." Kate stepped forward, keeping her dart gun hidden behind her back. "I'm Admiral Catherine, Morgan of Earth." "I know who you are," the Emperor said. "Baba Yaga, they call you. A figure of fear." Kate was surprised he knew the nickname. "You've done your research." "Of course," the Emperor said. "I research all potential subjects. Your species is young but interesting." He made a gesture, and the guards who had been standing at the edges of the room left. The doors closed behind them. "You came to discuss terms of surrender?" the Emperor asked. "Not exactly," Kate replied. The Emperor's eyes narrowed. "You have courage coming here, or perhaps it is merely foolishness." He stood from his throne, towering over her. Kate had to tilt her head back to look at his face. "Your fleet is impressive," Kate said, stalling for time as she assessed the situation. "You've conquered many worlds. 78% of known space," the Emperor said with pride. "Soon to be more." "Why?" Kate asked. "Why do you need to conquer everything?" The Emperor seemed amused by the question. "It is the natural order. The strong rule the weak. The advanced guide the primitive. Your people will benefit from our direction." "We prefer to choose our own path," Kate said. "A child thinks the same," the Emperor replied. "Until it learns better." Kate noticed a breathing hole on the side of the Emperor's neck. It was pulsing slightly. A perfect target. "How old is your empire?" she asked, moving subtly to get a better angle. 10,000 of your years," the Emperor said. "We were exploring the stars when your people were still living in caves." And in all that time has no one ever stood up to you? Kate asked. The Emperor made a sound that might have been a laugh. Many have tried. All have failed. Maybe they weren't human, Kate said. She moved quickly, bringing up the dart gun, but the Emperor was faster than she expected. He knocked her arm aside. The dart fired but missed its target. Predictable, the Emperor said. Did you really think it would be so easy? Kate backed away, reaching for her pistol. The Emperor moved toward her with surprising speed for his size. Your weapons cannot harm me, he said. My skin is resistant to your primitive technology. Kate fired the pistol. The shot hit the Emperor in the chest, but he barely reacted. A small wound appeared and then quickly closed itself. As I said, the Emperor commented, still advancing. Primitive. Kate knew she needed a new plan. She remembered what Elijah had said about Xyrillian weaknesses. The eyes, the breathing holes. She threw her pistol at the Emperor's face. It was an unexpected move that made him raise his hands in defense. Kate used that moment to dart to the side, drawing her knife. You are resourceful, the Emperor acknowledged. This is why your species has potential as servants. We will never serve you, Kate said. You have no choice, the Emperor replied. In less than 3 hours, your planet will submit or be destroyed. Kate circled carefully. She needed to get close enough to strike at the Emperor's vulnerabilities, but not so close that he could grab her with his long arms. Why give us 7 hours? She asked. Why not just attack? Efficiency, the Emperor said. Submission is less costly than destruction, and I am curious to see if humans are wise enough to choose the correct path. And if we surprise you? Kate asked. The Emperor's many eyes blinked in sequence. You already have by coming here, but it changes nothing. Kate saw her opening. As the Emperor spoke, one of his breathing holes expanded slightly. She lunged forward, aiming her knife for the spot. The Emperor caught her wrist. His grip was like iron. A brave attempt, he said, but futile. Kate wasn't done. She had planned for this. With her free hand, she pressed a small device against the Emperor's arm. It was another of Elijah's creations, designed to deliver a powerful electric shock. The Emperor jerked back, momentarily stunned. His grip loosened just enough for Kate to pull free. She dropped the knife, which was now useless, and reached for her last weapon, a second dart gun hidden in her boot. The Emperor recovered quickly. Enough games, he said, his voice now angry. You have wasted enough of my time. He pressed a button on his wrist. Kate expected guards to rush in, but instead, a force field appeared around her. She was trapped. Your planet's time continues to count down, the Emperor said, and now you will watch as your mission fails. Kate didn't panic. She checked her watch. 4 minutes had passed since she entered the room. She still had 3 minutes before the security system would detect Elijah's fake DNA. You know nothing about humans, Kate said. We don't give up. Admirable but irrelevant, the Emperor replied. Your determination cannot overcome our technology. Kate studied the force field. It shimmered slightly, creating a bubble around her about 6 feet in diameter. She could move within. They ran through the corridors of the Emperor's ship. Alarms blared from all directions. The sound was deafening, but Kate noticed something strange. Where are all the guards? She asked. That's the weird part, Sam replied as they turned a corner. They're fighting each other. What do you mean? Kate asked. When your signal went out saying the Emperor was dead, different groups started claiming power, Alan explained. The ship is divided now. Some support the fleet commander, others the royal advisor. And they're already fighting? Kate was surprised. The Xyrillian Empire is completely built around the Emperor, Elijah said. Without him, the chain of command is unclear. There are no rules for succession. They reached a lift and took it downward. When the doors opened, they saw 2 groups of Xyrillians firing weapons at each other across a large hall. Back up, Kate ordered. We'll find another way. They retreated and found a service corridor. It was narrow but empty. How far to the dock? Kate asked. Not far, Sam said, checking her device. But we need to be careful. The fighting is spreading. They moved through the service corridor, listening to the sounds of conflict echoing through the ship. Twice they had to hide as groups of armed Xyrillians rushed past. The whole empire might tear itself apart, Greg said. That's the idea, Kate replied. They reached the lower levels where they had entered. The dock area was in chaos. Supply workers were trying to flee while security forces fought for control. There's our ship, Alan pointed. It was still where they had left it, tucked in a shadowy corner. How do we get to it without being seen? Greg asked. Kate looked around and saw a group of supply workers loading crates onto small transport vehicles. We use a distraction, she decided. Alan, can you set one of your devices to create a big boom on the far side of the dock? Alan grinned. With pleasure. He took a device from his pocket, adjusted it, and threw it far across the dock. It landed behind some large containers. They waited. 30 seconds later, a massive explosion rocked the dock. Smoke and fire filled the air. Everyone turned toward the blast. Now, Kate ordered. They ran for their ship. No one noticed them in the confusion. They reached the ship and quickly got inside. Get us out of here, Greg, Kate said as she strapped into her seat. Greg's hands flew over the controls. The ship's engines hummed to life. What about the cloaking system? Sam asked. No time, Kate replied. The whole fleet will be in disarray. We use that to our advantage. Greg guided the ship out of the dock. Outside, the massive Xyrillian fleet was in chaos. Ships were moving in all directions. Some had already started firing on each other. They're fighting over who's in charge, Elijah observed. Set course for Earth, Kate ordered. Full speed. Greg pushed the engines to their limit. The small ship accelerated away from the Emperor's vessel. They weaved through the confused fleet, dodging larger ships that barely seemed to notice them. I can't believe it, Sam said. We actually did it. We're not home yet, Kate cautioned. Communication alert sounded. Kate hesitated, then pressed the button to accept the transmission. A Xyrillian face appeared on the screen. It wasn't the Emperor, but an older alien with darker blue skin and a formal uniform. You are the humans. Who killed the Emperor? The Xyrillian stated. It wasn't a question. Who am I speaking to? Kate asked calmly. I am High Commander Vex, leader of the Emperor's Guard, the Xyrillian replied. You have thrown our empire into chaos. You gave us no choice, Kate said. You threatened our world. The Emperor threatened your world, Vex corrected. He is now dead. I have seen the recording of your conversation. Kate raised an eyebrow. There was a recording? The Emperor recorded everything, Vex said, including his death at your hands. Kate waited, wondering where this was going. I have sent this recording to all fleet commanders, Vex continued. They now know exactly who killed the Emperor and how it was done. Is this where you threaten revenge? Kate asked. No, Vex surprised her. This is where I acknowledge respect. Kate exchanged glances with her team. The Emperor was becoming unstable, Vex said carefully. His conquests were becoming less about expansion and more about personal glory. Many of us were concerned. So you're thanking us? Alan asked incredulously. I would not go that far, Vex replied. But I am offering a truce. What kind of truce? Kate asked. Return to your world, Vex said. We will not pursue you. The Empire has more important matters to address now. And Earth? Kate pressed. What about the ultimatum? Withdrawn, Vex said. Earth is now known as the home of Baba Yaga, killer of emperors. Few would wish to challenge that reputation. Kate considered this. How do we know we can trust you? You don't, Vex admitted. But consider this. Our fleet is now divided. Some ships have already left to secure their home territories. Others are fighting for control. We have no united force to attack Earth, even if we wished to. It made sense. Without the Emperor, the Empire would fragment, at least temporarily. Very well, Kate said. We accept your truce. Vex nodded. One more thing, Admiral Morgan. Yes? The recording has been shared with other species as well, Vex said. Everyone will know what happened here today. Everyone will know what humans are capable of. The screen went dark as Vex ended the transmission. Did that just happen? Greg asked. Did they just let us go? They're being practical, Kate said. They have bigger problems right now than one small planet. We did it, Sam said, still sounding amazed. We actually saved Earth. The journey back was much faster than the journey in. With no need to hide or move carefully, Greg pushed the engines to their limits. Stars streaked past the viewports. What, now? Alan asked. When we get back to Earth? Now we prepare, Kate said. The galaxy knows about us now. They know what we can do. Is that good or bad? Sam wondered. Both, Kate replied. They'll fear us, which means they might leave us alone. But fear can also make people do stupid things. At least we bought time, Elijah said. Time to build better defenses, better ships. And to find allies, Kate added. We can't be the only species that resents the Xerillian Empire. There will be others who might want to work with us. Earth came into view, a blue-green jewel against the blackness of space. Kate felt a wave of emotion seeing her home, safe and unaware of how close it had come to destruction. Admiral Morgan, the voice of Peter, her communications officer, came through the speakers. Is that you? What happened out there? The Xerillian fleet is breaking apart. It's a long story, Peter, Kate replied. Request permission for immediate landing, and tell the World Council I want to see them right away. Yes, ma'am, Peter responded. And, did we win? Kate looked at her team, these brave people who had followed her on an impossible mission. She thought of the Emperor, so powerful and yet ultimately defeated. She thought of Earth still free. Yes, Peter, she said. We won. For now. The ship descended toward Earth. As they entered the atmosphere, Greg looked over at Kate. 7 minutes, he said with a shake of his head. You killed an emperor in 7 minutes. The legend of Baba Yaga grows, Alan added with a smile. Kate didn't smile back. This isn't the end, she said. It's just the beginning. The galaxy knows about us now. They know we're here, and they know what we can do. Is that a bad thing? Sam asked. It means we're not alone anymore, Kate replied. It means everything. Changes from now on. The ship landed at the Earth Defense Base. A crowd had gathered, including members of the World Council. They looked anxious, confused, and hopeful all at once. As the team prepared to disembark, Kate paused. Whatever happens next, she said, remember what we proved today. It's not about technology or numbers or power. It's about courage and cleverness and never giving up. And having a really scary nickname, Alan added with a grin. This time, Kate did smile. That helps too. They stepped out of the ship to face a world that had been on the edge of destruction and didn't even know it. A world that was now part of a much larger galaxy, for better or worse. Admiral Morgan, Council Leader Maria called, rushing forward. What happened? The Xerillian fleet is leaving. Did you negotiate a peace? Kate exchanged glances with her team. How could she explain what they had done? How could she make the Council understand that everything had changed? Not exactly, she said finally. Let's just say we gave them something to think about. As reporters gathered and questions flew, the story of what had happened on the Emperor's ship began to spread. By nightfall, everyone on Earth would know the tale. The Xerillian Empire had given her 7 hours to submit. Baba Yaga had killed their emperor in 7 minutes. And nothing in the galaxy would ever be the same again. The service corridor was long and cold. Blue lights made shadows dance on the walls. Kate led her team forward, moving with purpose. They looked like they belonged there, which was often the best disguise. The ship is huge, Alan whispered, looking at the high ceilings. It must be the size of a city. According to my calculations, it's about the size of Manhattan, Elijah said, and we need to get to the center. Sam checked her device. The Emperor's chamber should be 15 levels up from here. How do we get there without being seen? Greg asked. We use the cloaking device when we need to, Kate said, and we act like we have every right to be here when we don't. They reached the end of the corridor. Sam used Elijah's device to open the door. It slid open to reveal a busy area filled with Xyrillians. The aliens were tall and blue, with 6 eyes that moved independently of each other. They wore simple uniforms and moved with quick, precise steps. Too many, Alan muttered. We'll be spotted right away. Elijah, is the cloaking ready for our suits? Kate asked. Yes, but remember, it only lasts for 22 minutes total, he replied. Activate it, Kate ordered. Elijah pressed a button on his wrist. A faint shimmer passed over their bodies. They weren't invisible, but they would be harder to see, especially to Xyrillian eyes. Move fast, Kate said. They stepped into the busy area. Xyrillians walked past them without a second glance. One alien did turn to look, but its eyes seemed to slide off them without focusing. It's working, Sam whispered. They crossed the room and found a lift that would take them upward. Sam used the device again to call the lift. When it arrived, several Xyrillians were already inside. Wait for the next one, Alan suggested. No time, Kate said, and stepped inside. The others followed. They stood in the corner of the lift, trying to be as small as possible. The Xyrillians seemed to sense something was off but couldn't quite see what. One kept looking in their direction with its many eyes blinking in confusion. The lift moved quickly. At each level, some Xyrillians got off and others got on. Kate watched the numbers rise on the display. Level 12, Sam whispered. 3 more to go. The lift stopped at level 15. Kate and her team moved to exit, but a group of Xyrillians in different uniforms blocked their way. Security, Alan whispered. The security Xyrillians were taller than the others, with darker blue skin. They carried weapons that looked like long sticks with glowing ends. Kate made a quick decision. She pushed back into the lift instead of trying to exit. We'll find another way, she whispered. The lift continued upward. They got off at level 16 and found a quiet corridor. How much time left on the cloaking? Kate asked. 14 minutes, Elijah replied. We need to find stairs or another lift to go back down 1 level, Kate said. Sam checked her device. There's a maintenance ladder 3 corridors over. They moved quickly through the corridors. The ship was a maze of passageways, rooms, and open areas. Twice they had to press against walls to avoid groups of Xyrillians. Here, Sam pointed to a small door. Inside was a ladder that ran between levels. They climbed down 1 level and found themselves in a dimly lit service area. Where are we in relation to the Emperor's chamber? Kate asked. Sam checked her device again. Not far. Maybe 500 meters that way. She pointed to the right. How much time on the cloaking? 9 minutes, Elijah said. They moved through the service area. It was filled with pipes and wires, and strange machines that hummed. What is all this? Greg asked. Life support systems, probably, Elijah guessed. They need to keep the air right for them. They reached the end of the service area. A door blocked their path. What's on the other side? Kate asked. Sam used her device to access the ship's systems. It looks like a garden? Some kind of open space surrounding the Emperor's private areas. That makes sense, Elijah said. Xyrillians evolved in forests. They like open spaces with plants. Will there be guards? Alan asked. Definitely, Sam said. But not as many as you'd think. The Emperor relies on the security of the entire ship. Few get this far. How much time left? Kate asked. 6 minutes of cloaking, Elijah replied. That's cutting it close, Alan said. We'll have to move fast, Kate decided. Open the door, Sam. Sam used the device. The door slid open to reveal a beautiful garden. Strange plants with blue and purple leaves grew in patterns. Paths wound between them. The ceiling was high and glowed with a light that looked like sunshine. 4 Xyrillian guards stood at various points in the garden. They wore armor that shimmered in the light. Their weapons were larger than those they had seen before. "The Emperor's chamber is across the garden," Sam whispered. "Behind those large doors." 4 minutes of cloaking left, Elijah warned. "We need a distraction," Kate said. "Alan, can you create something on the far side of the garden?" Alan nodded and took a small device from his pocket. He set it and tossed it far across the garden. It landed silently behind some plants. 30 seconds later, a loud bang sounded. Smoke poured from the area. The guards all turned toward the noise. 2 ran toward it. The other 2 raised their weapons, scanning the garden. "Now," Kate ordered. They ran across the garden, staying low among the plants. They reached the large doors just as a guard shouted. It had spotted them despite the cloaking. "Sam, get this door open now," Kate ordered. Sam worked quickly with her device. The guard was running toward them, calling for help. 2 minutes of cloaking left. Elijah said. "Alan," Kate said. Alan raised his dart gun and fired. The guard dropped silently. "Got him," Alan said. "But there will be more." The door began to slide open. Beyond was a corridor lined with strange carvings. "This leads to the Emperor's private chambers," Sam said. They slipped through the door just as alarms began to sound. "They know we're here now," Greg said. "Run," Kate ordered. They sprinted down the corridor. At the end was another door, more ornate than any they had seen before. 1 minute of cloaking left, Elijah said. Sam worked on the door, but it wasn't opening. "It's got a different security system," she said. "I can't bypass it with what we have." Kate looked at Elijah. "You said their systems are based on their biology?" "Yes," he confirmed. "They use their unique biological signatures as keys." Kate turned to the guard that Alan had shot. "Drag him here." Alan and Greg pulled the unconscious guard to the door. "Will this work?" Greg asked. "It's the only chance we have," Kate said. Elijah helped Sam use the guard's biology to open the door. Elijah and Sam worked quickly. They placed the guard's hand on a panel near the door. Nothing happened. "It needs to be conscious," Elijah realized. "The system checks for life signs." "Wake him up," Kate ordered. Elijah injected the guard with a stimulant. The guard's eyes fluttered open. Before it could make a sound, Kate pressed her gun to its head. "Open the door," she said. She knew it couldn't understand her words, but it understood the gun. The guard slowly placed its hand on the panel again. Lights flashed and the door began to open. "Cloaking is gone," Elijah announced. "Doesn't matter now," Kate said. She knocked the guard unconscious again with the butt of her gun. They could hear footsteps running toward them from both directions of the corridor. Guards were coming. "Inside," Kate ordered. "Now." They slipped through the door just as it finished, opening. Sam quickly used her device to close it behind them. "Can you lock it?" Kate asked. "For a little while," Sam said, "but they'll override it eventually." They found themselves in an antechamber. It was richly decorated with what looked like art and trophies from different worlds. "Those are from conquered planets," Elijah said, looking at the displays. "Symbols of submission." "There's nothing from Earth here yet," Alan noted. "And there never will be." Another door stood at the far end of the antechamber. It was the last barrier between them and the Emperor. "What's the security on that one?" Kate asked. Sam scanned it with her device. "It's like nothing I've seen before. It's much more complex." "Can you break it?" Kate asked. "Not quickly," Sam admitted. "Then we'll have to find another way." Kate said. Elijah was examining the door closely. "This is a DNA scanner," he said. "It's checking for Xerillian royal DNA. The Emperor is the only royal on board," Kate said. "Yes, but I have those samples from the scout ship," Elijah said. "I might be able to trick it, but it won't last long." "How long?" Kate asked. Elijah thought for a moment. 7 minutes, maybe? Before the system recognizes the fake. Kate looked at her team. Their mission had come down to this moment. 7 minutes, she said. "That's all I need."